Hey guys, I'm out for another hike. This time it's not backpacking, it's just gonna be a day hike. Now I am on a very popular mountain, Mount Timpanogos. Now some people hike the summit via a trail called Aspen Grove. Most people like to hike it via a trail called Timpooneke. Today I'm going to enjoy the best of both worlds because I like both of them. I really can't pick a favorite. So I am going to do what I'm going to call the Timp Summit Loop, or the TSL. I just parked my car down at the summit trailhead. It's not called the summit trailhead after Timpanogos summit. It is because it's the summit on the actual Alpine Scenic Byway, the road that comes back here. It's the high point before it starts dipping down into American Fort Canyon. So that's why it's called Summit Trailhead. But it's a good place to park to make a loop between Aspen Grove and Timpooneke, or vice versa. So the trail I was on out of Summit Trailhead was the trail out to an area called Horse Flat. I just hit a fork in the trail. Instead of continuing on to Horse Flat, I took a right, and now I'm heading on a trail called the Snow Gauging Station Trail, because there's a snow gauging station out here, around here somewhere. But this will lead me toward the Timpooneke trailhead. Uh-oh. I think I hear some mountain bikers on my tail. We'll find out here in a minute. Or it could just be a big group of trail runners coming. Just a couple trail runners. Well, made it to Timpooneke trailhead here. It's about 8:30, and got started about an hour later than I wanted to. Had some issues with my alarm going off. But it's breakfast time nonetheless, Cliff Bar fashion. Traveled about 2.5, almost 2.5 miles from the summit trailhead to get here to the Timpooneke trailhead. And then probably got about 7 more from here to get up to the summit, I believe. Should be fun. It's a full trailhead here at Timpooneke, and it's only a Wednesday morning, so just goes to show how popular this trail is. It's always a party up top. Alright, here we go. Next stop, Scout Falls. So an interesting thing here is, here in the Wasatch Mountains, a lot of these trails and wilderness areas are located in the Uinta National Forest. Yet when you go to the Uinta Mountains, a lot of the wilderness area there, the big section of the high Uinta wilderness area and trails throughout the western end of the range, is located in the Wasatch National Forest. Go figure. Made it to Scout Falls. Got a lovely view of the Cottonwood ridgeline in front of it. Now you do need to, for those who aren't familiar with the trail here, you do need to fork off to the left. So after a few seconds you come to a bunch of roots, trees that seem to be blocking the trail. Just climb up over those roots and you pick up the trail up on the top of those roots and brings you to here. Right, so moving on from Scout Falls, after numerous stream crossings, that is one thing to note with this trail, is numerous streams cross the trail, and sometimes it's the same stream crossing the trail numerous times due to switchbacks. But yeah, about roughly 2/3 of the way up to the basin, and got a nice big meadow to go through between here and there, but that's where we're heading up now, is the edge of the very picturesque Timpanogos Basin. Up in the big meadow. Still climbing up through this meadow. It's a big one. Up out of the meadow now on a long switchback. Oh, I've been back in and out of some tree cover up here. Getting ready to crest over into the basin here very soon though. And then I'll be up above timberline for a while. Almost to the basin, right there. Alright, well, made it up into the basin, and beautiful as always. So beautiful. It's pretty obvious why this place is so popular up here. Anyhow, a little dilemma here. I was counting on some of these upper streams that cross the trail to still be running. But after leaving the big meadow just above Scout Falls, all the water stopped and everything's been bone dry since. So I only have a few ounces of water left. I have two choices. I can go straight up to Emerald Lake, which is not quite where I wanted to go just yet. I wanted to hit the summit before dropping over to Emerald Lake. Or I can go up behind me, a little back trail here. I've seen a water source around the hill to the side of me here in the past. I'm gonna go check on that. It's a little not too far out of the way, and if there is water there, I might head on up to the crash site of an old 1950s bomber up there. Alright guys, I'm at the loo with the best view in the whole state. Man, the flowers up here, ever since getting out of the big meadow down there, wow, they're just right at peak season right now. Absolutely beautiful. So gorgeous up here. Guys, look at this. I'm saved. Saved from an extra out-of-the-way trip over to Emerald Lake to get water, because water source I have in mind is going. Yes! Just strolling on over to the crash site where the bomber wreckage is. Just about there. Can see a piece of the wreckage right up there where my finger is. Not sure what the point of this is, but up here on one of the bigger rocks, someone painted a bike rider of some kind. Oh, here's one piece. Alright, here we are. More wreckage debris. Alright, well, most of the wreckage is up on this little shelf here, including one of the engines right there. The other engine is back down on the lower shelf down here. So even though it's quite a ways away to go off the trail to the summit up here, to go back and visit the crash site there where all the wreckage is, I still like to take that little detour up there to visit up there, pay my respects a little bit. I feel a little bit of a connection to it in just a small way. You see, my dad, my father, worked in the Air Force. I grew up with my father working in the Air Force, and even though he's alive, he's since retired, he was not a pilot. I still grew up on Air Force bases throughout my whole childhood, and in fact, I was born right here in Utah on Hill Air Force Base, which is where that bomber back there was either en route to or from before it got stuck in a winter storm, I believe in February in the early 50s, if I remember right, and lost visibility and must have had some sort of instrument failure, but whatever it was, something went wrong and it smacked right into the side of the mountain back behind me here. So it's kind of a somber place to walk through and know that a few airmen pilots tragically lost their lives there, but I do believe all the bodies were recovered soon after, and so all that's left back there is the wreckage. And I think it's still very appropriate, whether you believe in divine providence or not, that this whole slope up to the wreckage is just covered in wildflowers of so many colors. I see it as a beautiful tribute, memorial to those who lost their lives back there. Well, here we are, back on trail. Up we go. So this is what shortcutting switchbacks do. It erodes the main trail. Look at all that erosion. Closing in on the saddle here. Just got this one last straightaway. Looks like I could have picked up a little bit of water up here after all. Made it up to the saddle here, just sat down for a snack, and got about 3/4 of a mile to go to get up to the summit. It always looks so scary and exposed from here, but usually it's not so bad once you get going on it. So there's so many people that do it, and I've never heard of anyone falling off the trail up here, as exposed looking as it is. So maybe that's happened in the distant past, but not in recent memory, that's for sure. Just gotta go up there. There's the summit up there. All right, made it up to Temp Summit here, or Timpanogos Summit to be more proper. 11,752 feet high. Gotta be at least my 5th time up here, but it's been a while, at least 5 years. So here's a look at the views. So there's peak bagging, and then there's peak branding. Well, time to make my way back down. I go all the way back down there. Got a mountain goat guarding the saddle now, coming back. There's another one right here. All right, just ditching the Timpooneke Trail behind me, heading down the Aspen Grove route now. Get to slide down through this loosey-goosey stuff and then head out through the snow and out to Emerald Lake just around the corner over there. Alright, now for a journey across some snow. So this reddish pink color in the snow throughout, if I remember right, is caused by some sort of bacteria. Here comes Emerald Lake. Gonna have to resupply my water when I get there. There it is, right down there. Same lake we saw from above. So had I actually gotten up when I wanted to and arrived at the trailhead earlier, I would have had an extra hour and a half that I was hoping for. That probably would have given me the time to also hit Robert's Horn up here. But I'm gonna take a pass on it now because it's already almost 5 o'clock and also got quite a few miles to go to get back to my car. Here's the Emerald Lake shelter, or Timpanogos shelter. It was built early 1900s, if I remember right, and built for just that, a shelter and for a little bit of lodging. Get out of storms coming up through here. Fireplace in the back. Some benches on the sides. I lied. It was erected in 1959. So yeah, it was built just for that, a shelter and a place of lodging for when people get caught in storms here. They used to do an annual hike up here called the, well, Timpanogos annual hike, something to that effect, and yeah, a whole crowd of BYU students would come up here throughout the early 1900s, and I'm not sure exactly when they stopped it. Might have been the 70s. They put a stop to it because the crowds were, I mean, people complain about the crowds, myself included, on weekends up here and holidays. Sounds like it was far worse back when up to 2,000 students at a time would come up in one big group and just parade up the mountain as an annual tradition. So Forest Service put a stop to that, or request to stop it at some point. So Just too much impact on the wilderness area up here. And there's the lake. So it would have been tempting, because an old traditional way to come back down from the summit, especially if you're hiking Aspen Grove, was to keep on the ridge. There's a trail that goes out, continues out from the summit to the ridge here, and then you can drop down on this snowfield. A lot of people call it Timpanogos Glacier or Timp Glacier. It's not a true glacier, but it certainly holds snow for most of the year, and on a heavy snow year it really does look like a glacier. And anyways, you can slide down through there if you're willing to risk it. I've done it once with my wife Jess when we were dating, and tons of fun, but it scared me because I thought I lost my car keys on it on the way down. Turns out those were clipped into a different pocket where they were actually more safe. I think I failed to remember that I did that before going down. Secondly, on lower snow years, you never know like how soon you might hit the wrong line and start losing control, only to be greeted by a rock somewhere along the way that's just ever so short out of the ice and snow there to gash open your leg or your backside. And it has happened to some people before. So, in my opinion, not worth the gamble. Unless there's a ton of snow to come down on. Pretty cool. After seeing a couple goats up on the saddle, a couple big males, looks like there's a pack of little mother goats and a baby kid down behind me here, just past. Gave them distance, walked around them. Just heading out here for a quick little view of Primrose Cirque and a little tarn. It's really pretty up here. Well, here's where I once hung my hammock to sleep for the night about 5 years ago. Really nice view out there. And just beyond the trees where my hammock hung is this overlook of Primrose Cirque. You got hidden lakes, one of them right there, and the other one back left corner back there. There's the summit shack right there on the top edge of the ridge there. Just came down from that a little while ago. Alright, saying farewell to Emerald Lake now. Down, down we go. Oh, we have coyotes. Awesome. Oh man, that was rad. As cool as the mountain goats are to see. I've seen those quite a few times up there. They're not hard to get somewhat close to for good pictures, but it's been a long time since I've seen coyotes out in the wild, and I saw two running away from me. I think they were very close to a switchback that I turned the corner on, and then suddenly I hear them dart away. So they were pretty close, but they kept their course going up through the cliffside there. Found a little ledge, and they're working their way up to the green ridge over at the end of the cliff. And awesome. Like, it's been a long time since I've seen a coyote out in the wild. And then to top it off, check out this beautiful waterfall I'm looking at now. It is gorgeous. Good gosh, it's so gorgeous through here. Oh, Primrose Cirque or Aspen Grove route down. Definitely the most scenic. It is a lot more exposed than I remember it being too, so that's probably another reason a lot less people hike up and down this way as opposed to Timpooneke. But holy cow, it is gorgeous up here. Despite hiking along the top edges of cliffs, there are flowers galore. Like fireweed is just everywhere, along with bluebells and red Indian paintbrush, a bunch of white flowers, including some daisies, and oh, it's so pretty, so pretty. Getting little patches of some larkspurs coming out down here too. Well, whew, if the sun was still shining, I'd stand a little further under that waterfall. A little close to it, but yeah, I totally would have soaked down if it was still sunny and warm on this side of the mountain. Alas, it's getting really late in the day now. I'm losing light. Kind of gotta hurry to get back to the car before it gets too dark. I do have a flashlight though if I need it. Just vacated the official trail. A little bit of a bushwhacking adventure. There's a little bit of a beat down little trail through here. This is called the Heartski Cutoff from what I know. And it's a very good shortcut to get over the ridge up here and significantly cut off distance to my car. A little bit of bushwhacking. I think I found it. It isn't very obvious off the main trail, so I just had a GPS check it and bushwhack till I crossed it somehow, and here we are. This is pretty easy going here. Not too shabby at all. Whew. It's a little bit of uphill, but pretty gradual. Well, crap. A couple of moose are blocking my way. I'm getting so close to cresting the edge, and then I'm back to main trail, getting down. And yeah, not good. Crap. Just gotta get around that ridge there, but there's moose right there on my little path. Wish they'd go off of it and up into the trees a good ways. I don't think they're gonna get there very quickly though. So now, the question is, do I try to bushwhack through some trees higher to try and get around them? Alright, it's definitely a mother and a calf, and they're coming this way, so I think I'm gonna start going back the other way. Or maybe climb high up in these trees and see if they'll pass in a minute. Crap. Suck. It's gonna get dark on me no matter what now. Stinking moose. Dang. I would have only had about a mile and a half, 2 miles most to go from where those moose were. Probably about 2 miles from where the moose were. And could have been on the straightaway. Easy, smooth sailing back to the car from right behind them. Oh my heck. Oh my gosh. And what are the odds of a mother moose and her calf taking up the whole road and pushing me back the other way? Because I am not gonna risk getting too close to them. And there were a little cliff band right below them, and a bunch of thick bush and trees that who knows how much of a mess that would have been to try and push through all that junk. I would have been scratched up quite a bit for sure, and had my backpack getting caught, and I don't know, like at this rate I'm probably gonna make just as good of a time to go back down this long way on the main trail down to Aspen Grove and lame horse trail over. At least on the established trails here, there's still people out and about here and there. Even past a couple up way above me that were going up to the lake and planning on hiking out in the dark tonight. So I think, because the sun is probably fixing to set here. It's probably setting right now over the other side of the mountain. Woo! We got this though. Still can't believe that. Stinking moose. I could seriously be walking down through Horse Flat right now with about a mile or less than a mile to go to get to my car, with just enough twilight here left to get me there without having to use a flashlight. But no, again, looks like I'm hiking an extra 3 to 4 miles. There is a chance we catch up to a couple down here that I was trailing, and they offered me a ride from Aspen Grove up to Summit to my car if my route up there didn't work out. So if I can close down that mile, we'll see. Whoa! Oh. Well, made it back home. It's like almost 11 o'clock, holy cow. Yeah. Dang moose. Would have been home quite a while ago if it weren't for the moose. I did catch up with the middle-aged couple. Super nice couple. They're from Missouri, Rick and Charlene. I think that's their names. And they offered me a ride back to the trailhead my car was at, which saved me from 2 miles of hiking the Lame Horse Trail out of Aspen Grove, mostly uphill, back to my car. and that would have probably put close to another hour of hiking on me in the dark at that point. So super thankful for that. We masked up, all wore our masks, and played it safe that way. But yeah, they're from Missouri and they're out vacationing and just traveling, and I guess they do this, they like to come out west every so often, and staying in Park City, and just picked Timpanogos to hike. Apparently they did it like 2008, 12 years ago as well, on a trip out here. So anyhow, I'm home, I'm safe, it's time to wrap this up. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Hope you guys enjoyed, and wow, what a day. Till next time, happy hiking, guys.